Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to week 3 of my YouTube vlog documenting my bodybuilding prep heading into 2024's summer explosion with the INBF. Really appreciate you guys tuning in the first couple of weeks and supporting the channel. Anything you guys can do moving ahead, from likes, from shares to comments on the channel itself or on my other social media, is incredibly helpful. So please keep pushing, and thank you for your support. That being said, last week we covered week 9 of my prep. This week we finished up week 10. So I'm going to go over some of the changes that we made heading into week 10 and then what we have on tap for this week, number 11. But that being said, this is week 11. Finish 10 weeks, we get 10 weeks left. You know what that means. Bon Jovi says it way better than I do, so I figured we'd just throw that in there real quick. So we are halfway, guys. We are at the freaking halfway point of prep, and I couldn't be more excited for where we are because I feel like we haven't used all the tools in our arsenal. We have a lot left to push these last 9 weeks before peak week. We're going to get into all that here throughout the rest of the video, so please stay tuned and see what we have going on. All right, so let's start off with the log for this week. For those of you guys who tuned in the first couple weeks are pretty familiar with it, so I'm not going to go into too many details. You know that the highlighted portions are kind of the big things that are important as far as changes. So we're looking at our macro up top here, which is pretty much staying the same now for gym days and non-gym days. All we have done is we have subtracted 5 carbs for week 10. Again, that was last week. And then we added 3 minutes of cardio to each day. So on our gym days, we're doing 31 minutes on the stairs. And on our non-gym days, we were doing the 47 minutes on elliptical. We added 2 cups of water for week 10. And in discussion with Josh, my coach, we decided that was in our best interest, and you'll see in my videos why, to put in a second pull day. Recovery's gone very, very well. We kind of have it down to a science for the prep as far as making sure that I feel good every day, that soreness is limited, but I am getting a very good pump. And so with that being said, we really want to try and get a little bit more thickness in the tissue with the lats. So we're doing a lat focus pull day on my original leg day, which was Saturday, and I've moved legs now to Sunday. So essentially we're going to the gym 5 days a week instead of 4, but we've spaced it out in a way that allows every muscle group to recover for about 2 to 3 days before we hit it again. I think between the supplements and the rest, it's working really well. Yes, I've only done it for a week, but I feel great still, and it's just another tool that we're kind of putting in there to try and push these the last half of the prep. The only other thing we did in week 10 was we added front delt raises to our supplemental day, which is Friday right now. And on supplemental day, as I stated last week, we're mostly focusing on arms, shoulders, rear delt for the most part. We just added in this movement along with our abductors, which we don't put on leg day. We just kind of do on supplemental day on the side. So that was week 10. I know that's kind of a lot, but let's head into week 11 because we have quite a few changes coming up here. So if we look again, we have carbs being lowered by 5 again this week. So we're going to 85 on the carbs. We have upped our cardio. So we're 34-minute stairs. Did that for the first time today. Holy hell. Kind of brutal. We did 50 minutes on elliptical, where we're doing that moving ahead for this week at home on my non-gym days since I do not have a Stairmaster here. Hopefully someday, because that thing is the best cardio equipment you can use. Hands down. It's not close, guys. If you haven't done stairs, if you haven't done stairs more than 10 or 15 minutes, get on there for 30 or 40 minutes and see how you feel. Unreal. Anyway, we added one more cup of water this week, so we are going up to 17 cups for week 11. On our pull day, we have upped our Smith barbell row underhand to 5 sets. It was 3 sets previously. And on Saturdays, that second lat focus pull day we discussed, we're going to add in heavy dumbbell rows for by 12 to 15 reps. No jerking, make sure we're to form. We're really kind of driving that lat back, making sure we squeeze like we got a tennis ball there in the armpit, making sure that we get a nice little hold at the top. come back down, but keep tension the whole time and just keep driving. So I did that for the first time today too. Haven't done heavy dumbbell rows in a while. I think we were using 50, 55s at peak as far as my top set, just because I really wanted to make sure we're hitting the form. Probably could have done 60, 65, but I'd already done 5 pretty brutal sets of pull down. And I've been doing that a little differently per my posing coach. So he's been kind of very much telling me to keep the chest up and to really kind of not, you don't have to pull all the way down to your chest, but what he's been getting me to do is kind of pull and hold tension right kind of at the chin or right below so you can really feel the mind muscle connection with the lat. Definitely helps with the pump. So I've been doing that this week and last week, and definitely noticing a difference with my lat pull down. Feels really, really good. Posing additions. Let's see. We are starting to practice our mandatories daily now. The ones we've gone over with my posing coach are abs and thigh, front double bicep, side chest, sorry, left and right, back double, and hands on hips. So we still have not gone through the lat spreads, which we are going to be doing in week 13 in our next posing session. And I think there may be one or two others that I'm just not getting right now, not ringing a bell. Side tricep is definitely one of the other ones. We haven't done that yet. So we'll be adding those in, and I'm looking forward to getting those kind of under my belt so I can begin practicing with those for the last 6 or 7 weeks. Other than that, we are going to begin developing and practicing our stage routine. I do have a minute that I have to perform on stage doing a routine. For those that are unfamiliar with how bodybuilding shows operate, that is what the INBF, WNBF do. Most federations do the same. So originally, and I shared this on my Facebook and Instagram, I was contemplating and kind of sold on Kickstart My Heart for my music by Motley Crue. But I've had a lot of guys message me and tell me that I may want to start thinking about something else, mainly because that is a heavily used song. Sometimes it's heard multiple times per show. At the really popular shows, it's almost always heard, and you really don't want to get caught being like the second or third guy using it. You kind of want to make sure that yours is unique and stands out. So I think we are moving to change that. The heavy favorite right now for me, for those that used to listen to kind of heavier rock alternative back when I was in high school, which was like 1997 to 2001, is Korn's Word Up. So I'm starting practice with it tomorrow. I like the flow of the song. I like the beat. I like kind of how there's room for a lot of good transitions in there. So we're gonna play around with it the first week or two. I can't wait too long on making a final decision. I'm gonna see if I can make it work. So yeah, stay tuned. I might share a little bit of a preview on that, maybe come week 13 or 14. No guarantees because I don't want to put out too much info prior to the show. I kind of want to keep some of that kind of on lock and key so that way there's more surprises and more, I don't know, lead into the show, something to be excited about for everybody tuning in. But yeah, outside of that, that's week 10 and week 11 of the prep and where things are right now. So we're going to go ahead and move ahead to what the pictures look like for the week, and then we are going to get into some videos of posing, as I promised you guys last week. So, looking at the Instagram, I put up a few posts this week. We have some mandatories that I was practicing from earlier in the week. This is my back double bi. I'm getting pretty happy with this. I still have to figure out leg positioning. I like kind of how we're showing off the calf development down here. I like the lines in the hamstring that you can see here. I feel like it showcases our legs pretty good. Just playing around with the width and how far back I want to have my foot with that. But definitely liking the separation and the striations in the back that are starting to come in. Really like the delt cap, and I'm finally getting pretty happy with my biceps from the back. Definitely could use a little more size, but I feel like my triceps are definitely help driving that home. And obviously, we still need to work on symmetry and balancing out arm positioning, which I'm very, very weak at, especially on the front side. We'll get more into that when I go through my videos. But so back double, how that's coming along. Moving on to front lat spread. Again, I haven't gone over this with my coach yet. I've just watched cues online. One of the big guys I've been following is Hunter Labrada from Labrada Nutrition. He's a pro bodybuilder. And so some of the guides I've watched and heard from him mention, making sure you're getting that chest puffed up and lifted and making sure you're really pushing in on the sides. You start with the thumb in the back and kind of roll those wrists forward to push in to give that illusion there. And it's driving me nuts, but for some reason, my right lat always looks like it's coming out further than my left. And it's no matter what I do, it's something I'm working on. I'm definitely uneven one side to the other. And I don't know if that's just growing pains, learning your body, learning how to do the mind muscle connection with everything. But some of the pros here, I definitely like the delt cap at the top. I like the width that we're getting. I like the separation in the delts. Really noticing the tricep coming out in this really well. Forearms for me are always a plus. I feel like, and this is what everyone tells me, they're probably one of my best muscle groups. Oddly enough, forearms. I don't know how many people have that. Front quad is really starting to develop now. Obviously, I'm wearing boxers, so you can't see the lines, but we are getting lines up both sides, side quad, and you can tell the abductor work has been helping as well. So, a lot of pluses here, especially as I haven't been formally trained on the pose yet. Obviously, room to grow. Not perfect at it. Moving into side chest, sorry, not side tricep. This is arguably my strongest pose. I feel like personally, I've been told that by numerous people. Lot going on here, so we can unpack it. Let's go bottom up. So calf separation, you can see really pronounced here. Hamstring definition, teardrop coming down, looking pretty good there. Upper quad, fairly active here. Definitely would like more meat up top. I think we're working on that, obviously, with the way we've been changing up our leg extensions. I'm trying to work on foot positioning so that we get that mirror image and the extra hamstring back here for the extra added illusion. Probably need a little more glute work, to be honest. And I don't look incredibly tight down there in this one. Moving up, so if we look here, I think we got decent triceps. Not the best on this side, but pretty good. Bicep looking good here. Forearm, again, as always, really strong forearms. Really starting to light the cut on the mid chest line here. You can start seeing some of the striations coming in when I flex it really good. Collarbone to midline to down here at bottom. I feel like I get a really good squeeze from this side. So this is definitely my favorite side to pose from, that being my left. And I think this is coming along really, really strong. I feel like the turn's natural. I feel like the positioning's natural. And to me, everything looks good here. So those are the poses I put up mandatories picture-wise from this week, as we undress those. What else did I share? So this is just kind of a throwback to my powerlifting days. You guys can see where I've come from. My son Matthew and my coach Josh. All of us looking much different at this point. Matt probably has more muscle than both of us. No, I don't know, and he's much taller than me, probably as tall as Josh now, as this is a couple summers ago. But this was just kind of something I posted up, thanking my Iron Titan family, who we used to rep when I was on the platform, and obviously to Josh as well. Just thank you type post. So remember where you came from. That was the point of that. And this was this morning at 182.5. This is a new low for us, starting week 11. So if you look at the numbers that I shared, when we started prep, we were 192.9. We've lost 51 pounds total, including the off season. But today, being the 182.5, we've cut what looks like a little over 10 pounds. So we're at 10.4 down. Now, you look and say over 10 weeks, well, it's only like a pound a week. Not really, because the cut didn't start till week 4 through 7. And I say that because remember in my previous video, we gradually took our high carb days out of the equation week to week until we hit week 7. So for instance, I believe on week 4, we took back day out. And then on week 5, I believe we took leg day out. And then week 6, I think we took chest day out. And slowly we took the high carb days away until there were none. And another piece of the puzzle here, and this is why I'm most excited. I know, like, you guys look at the pics from week to week and you're probably like, well, he's not going to make it. He's not going to be lean enough. He's not leaning out enough. His abs aren't showing enough. I kind of agree with you to a point, but we haven't used all the tools in our arsenal, not even close. My metabolic rate is about 1840. And after the carb cut, where we stop the carb cycling, we're sitting at 85 carbs this week, so we've lowered them a little bit. But they're lower and lower every week after week 7, just by like 5. And we're gradually removing those, and we're losing more and more and more. But my calorie intake is still about 1760 to about 1820 a day. Okay, so when we look at that, you say, well, really, calorie wise, under metabolic, you're only 20 to 80 calories under a day. So most of the weight loss up to this point can be attributed to good cardio as well as intensity in your workouts, or my workouts, apologies. So I really think that's what has been driving the cut so far through prep. And it's not even really that we've reduced food a whole lot, because we haven't. Like, I've eaten this entire time through this 51-pound drop. So my point that I'm making here is that there's still a lot of wiggle room. We're looking at doing a refeed week 12 through week 14 because they work really, really well with me. And a lot of the time during the refeed, I'll still lose weight because it gives me more energy and I can go harder in the gym. We're upping cardio every week by multiple minutes. That's helping remove more. So it's just a contribution of many factors kind of coming in, and the tools steadily increasing throughout. So this last half of prep, we get to dial that up even more, and I still get to eat before we do our last dive bomb at the end, which I'm assuming is going to be the last 4 or 5 weeks. The last month of prep where things are going to get really real. But I'm very, very happy with where we are, and I think we can still get there and be stage lean. Um, will I be the? I'm definitely gonna be the best I've ever looked. Will I be the best on stage? Who knows? Obviously gonna give it my all, and I want to be. But really, this is the best version of myself I've ever been. So I can't have any ill feelings about how I'm looking and how things have gone this far, because Josh has put together an incredible recipe for the off season and the prep. Another shout out to my coach because he's amazing. All right, guys. So that's kind of the week, as far as what things look like throughout the week, photo-wise, posing-wise. But let's get into some videos that I recorded this morning, and let's talk about these, because I did promise you guys some posing vids. I decided to break them up and not do one video with all my transitions, because if I'm being honest, my transitions still need a lot of work. I worked on foot placement all week. I'm continuing to do that. I worked on breathing and conditioning all week. I'm continuing to do that. But when I piece everything together, trying to make mental note of every pose with the transition, plus doing recording, plus trying to be spot on for the camera, it's a lot of intimidation rolling off at me at once, and I'd rather just kind of do a piecemeal type thing until stuff comes a little more together here in coming weeks. So my goal is to do this with mandatories that I know next weekend. And then eventually in about 2 or 3, maybe even 4 weeks, we'll share everything put together and we'll rotate some posing so you guys can kind of see the walkout as well as the poses in succession with the transitions and get more of a feel how things are coming along. So we'll do that moving ahead. Let's start. We're going to go quarter turn by quarter turn. We'll do front lat. Well, it's not really front lat. It's just front relaxed. We will do side relaxed left. we will move to back relaxed and right relaxed. So let's go ahead and pop this open. And I'm going to pause throughout just to go over things, but so this is me setting up. Okay, and here we go with the lats, trying to get everything even. Let's pause it right here because I feel like that's probably the best we're going to get. Yeah, I know my smile is crap. I was more focused on doing what I needed to do here. I'm going to work on that, and obviously I will be smiling on stage. I know how important that is. So when we're looking at things here and breaking it down a little bit, one of the things that I tend to have a big problem with is elbows lining up and being even. This arm always drops on me, and I don't know what it is because I'm cognizant of it the whole time. It's just a me remembering not to do that and to not bring this arm as high as maybe I am to match it. But man, I tell you what, for anybody who's ever done posing, props to getting arm positioning locked in because this has been a huge struggle for me from Jump Street on, especially the front relaxed. Obviously, we're not there yet, stage lean. We still have work to do, and the lighting in my basement is god awful, so you can't really see many of the cuts, to be honest. Very subtle, you can see some of them, but not a lot. Let's talk about the taper, because this is kind of what the most important part of this pose, I feel like. And when you look, again, always my right side seems to be better positioned than my left. And it could have something to do with the elbow, could have something to do with how far back or forward I'm rotating this particular arm. I feel like the taper looks much better here from delt down to mid than it does here delt down to mid. And that's just something I have to work out. You know, I am practicing keeping my chest up nice and high. I am practicing making sure, you know, everything's pulled in and, you know, we're doing good with our breathing and we're breathing from the diaphragm, not from the stomach. So those are all keys that I've been working on. But let's go ahead and push this forward a little bit. Little shaky, and things kind of do get a little better. You know, we can start seeing some thickness here. I think I'm trying to squeeze a little harder, but again, that left side's just not nearly as strong. There's the left, so there's the left side just getting squeezed a little bit more, and this is something that I'm trying to get right. And it's when you're doing this, I feel like feeling this lat from the front is so much harder than it is from the back. I don't know about if other guys have this problem. I don't know if that's a typical problem for starting out with the front relaxed. Another thing you can see is there's the elbow drop, right? So look, that is not a straight line. This elbow, again, just it drops as I'm trying to engage this lat over here. So this is a problem. This is our worst pose, which really sucks. As hard as I've worked on it, but really most of that work has come this week. So we got 10 more weeks to clean that up. This is currently not my best pose. It's definitely my worst. And the reason I say it sucks is because you start with front relaxed. So this sets the tone for everything else that you have going on. So I'm going to work really hard on this in coming weeks. And you know, we hope we can improve that. And I think as we get stage lean and the taper comes in more and the waist comes in more and the abs show a little bit more, I think it's really going to help with the illusion and hopefully make up for some of the discrepancies we're seeing as we tighten those up. So that is the front relaxed. Let's move to our quarter turn, quarter left here. This is arguably my best pose. So I don't take too terrible along with the wind up, but man, I tell you what, this is why I'm confused. The back development, like I feel like it's come so far along in recent weeks. You know, from maybe the start of prep to now, and even the separation in delt and shoulders and traps, and just the width back here. I just can't make that stand out from the front. But so on the wind up, you get a good view here. So let's go ahead and go into it, and boom. Let's stop right there initially, because almost as good as it's going to get with me currently where I'm at with my leanness. So I think the only thing here is I'm soft knee and not fully locked in with my hammy and my glute. Can't see it because I'm wearing shorts. for this first one. Eventually we'll be in skivvies. But yeah, so I like the hip positioning. Could be a little more in. I like the torso turn. I like the chest angle. We're rotated down. Chest is high. Not as much tricep as I'd like to see. I think it gets locked in here shortly. That one is popping a little more. Love the lat. A lot of people say I bring my arm too far back on this one. I don't know. I feel like it's personal preference, and I feel like I just have a really good lat cut and my side relaxed. So I don't know. I feel like that's preference and being a little nitpicky. I think the more important part is the hip turn and the torso and getting that chest facing the judges with that lean down so you're presenting it nice high angled. I know my coach is proud of me for this one. He says this is my best pose as far as my posing coach goes. Let's keep unpacking. Breathing's pretty good. We're holding tight. You can see the oblique development, which is again arguably the best part of my abs. You can see how concave we are here. Everything is in. I just feel like there's not a lot, and even my hip got better here. I noticed it and I turned it more back to the back wall, and we're still keeping everything where it was. A little more tricep, not as much as I'd like to see there, but everything looks good. Little unbuttoned with the breathing and conditioning there. You can see it come out just a smidge, but I feel like overall we're pretty tight on this one. Definitely the happiest I've been with any of my poses for relaxed pose. So that is our quarter turn left. Let's go into our back and the setup here. Okay, here we go. Going for width. Arms up, positioned. My arms are a lot straighter on this one. I don't have as hard time engaging, and there's the full lean back right there. So let's pause it here to go over that. Elbows probably slightly higher on this side, but I feel like my arm positioning is much better on the back pose than it is the front pose. Hard to see, but we are pretty tight down here. I can see the calf pop down the side. I do have hammies and glutes pretty tight. Um, Again, it's going to be tough for you guys to see, but see some lower back development here. Definitely been working on this a lot, working on hyperextensions, working on low cable pulls, good separation mid-back, good separation upper, nice width with the delts and the cap, and how wide the taper is from the delt down. Still got a little bit of kind of waist area to clean up. I think that's just, comes with the leanness and the cut, so we will be getting there, but I like the lean back. I like the width. I think this is definitely one of our better poses. And again, my posing coach has stated from the back, I'm obviously much stronger than the front. So really happy with this one. Not too much personally that I would critique here. But yep, looks pretty good in my opinion. So let's kill that one. And let's move to our last one, which is quarter right. Not my strongest, definitely not as good as the left. You're going to notice the hip, I'm a lot tighter here. Wind up takes a lot longer because I'm kind of overthinking it. I'll be honest with you guys because I know this is my weak side and that I'm trying to get all my cues right. So let's go ahead and start her up. Okay, let's see what we do here. Tight, lower to top. Turn. See, I'm really working on just turning the torso on this one and not turning the hip. You can see it's a little further back than we'd like. We'd like to see this a little more forward. Obviously, I'm looking at the camera here trying to see how things look rather than focusing straight ahead. And now we'll move and boom. So again, good oblique development, strong so you see the concave and the stomach line here. A little bit of tricep pop there, much better tricep on this side. Again, good lat quality here. Chest is sitting high, but I'd like to see it a little higher. I'm really focusing on not looking up at an angle towards the ceiling because I get in a really bad habit of that, and I'll get a really sharp lean backwards, and it just throws off the whole look because then your stomach gets puffy, you're not tight in the midsection, and things just come unbuttoned. So I'm trying to get a feel for how high to lift and where to look. I see a lot of guys looking straight ahead, and I kind of like that as opposed to chin up because how short I am. I don't know, it's just me. But you can see we got a decent torso turn, but the hips are just tighter. You can see we can bring it around. I'm around a little more. It's not quite as much as it is on our left side. And you can see me trying hard throughout here to catch that and drive the hip back to the wall here. Little unbuttoned with the breathing and conditioning, not holding it incredibly well, but, you know, pretty decent. So those are the 4 relaxed poses. So I don't know, you can see what needs work. I'm sure if you're a bodybuilder or you've been in the sport before, you've done shows, that you have your own interpretation of this. I'd love to hear that feedback, guys. I want to get better week to week. Please, please provide that. You know, comment. Let me know. I'm not shy about criticism. I take that to heart. I listen and I try and correct everything I'm doing. So if there are any tips, especially that you guys have, you know, please, please share those. I think that'd be great for me. That being said, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover this week. I do, at the end of my video, I don't like putting this up front because I'm not trying to hound you guys with it, want to show you a few things from the first couple of weeks. So this is our content moving through this week. We have 228 views on the 2 videos, 3,000 impressions. Feel like that's really good. Click-through rate is strong at 3.5. It's above the 2.6 average. This is where I need a little help and work, guys. Now I know if people are tuning into certain sections and not wanting to watch the full video, I get that. Everybody's tight on time. I know attention spans are low. I know you might find a part of the video that just is too slow. You're not into it. I get it. It's fine. But the reasoning I state that is because when we go here, my goal is to hit my eligibility with YouTube to become partner by the end of this year. I know that's asking a lot. If you look, so we got to go from 35 subs up to 500. I'm almost there on videos. This week is going to cap it at 3 within the last 90 days. And since we do weekly, we'll keep this capped. And then here is the other part, and that's why that 222 matters, right? You look, we have 8 public watch hours combined on our videos. We need 3,000 in order to hit this. I don't really focus on shorts. It's not going to be a focus on this channel, so there definitely is no way I'm going to hit the 3 million mark on these. But we will start trying to add these in from time to time. I know I promised you guys some earlier in the channel series, so we will do a little bit of that. But so I just wanted to show you guys where we're at analytics wise, because this is a very big goal of mine. It's going to allow me, as I get some revenue potentially from doing these videos, to use that to potentially hire some people to help me out with social media, to get some people recording my gym sessions so I can share gym sessions with you guys. It's going to help me be able to just do more content, you know, shows, recording shows, lead into shows, show days, and provide a ton more stuff for you guys to watch outside of the vanilla vlog week to week thing. So any help you guys can provide, especially via subs and or watch time, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything you've done to this point, whatever it is you can help me with. So thank you on that. Okay, guys, that is going to be it for week 3 of my vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time sharing all that content with you today. I think it was something a little different than what we've seen the first couple of weeks, so hope that was enjoyable for you guys as well. I will see you guys next Saturday evening. Please be on the lookout for my week 4 vlog. You guys take it easy and have a good